Okay, joined by Paul Kelly, the Thomas Davis manager. Disappointment for you today, Paul, in the Dublin Senior 1 football final, losing to Ballyboden. What did you feel went wrong here today for yourselves?
Look, I mean, first of all, the best team won. My congratulations to Ballyboden. I wish them very best of luck in Leinster and going forward. They're not unbeaten all year without reason to it, and they proved that again today. They're a class act. From our perspective, obviously, a little bit disappointed in the first half, and once or twice a little bit of lack of composure. Last ball, a few bad shooting options. That against that sort of scoring goal. If we knew ourselves, if we were in a couple of points more, we had a real fighting chance. And even at half time, to be honest, we felt that we could correct a few things, tried to, and look, we started off reasonably well in the second half, but we, a bit disappointed with our composure last pass, and kick-outs on the day probably didn't work for us, to the extent that we would have hoped,
Disappointment for you today, I'm sure, but at the same time, in a week or two, you'll look back on this year, and I'm sure you'll be very, very happy with the progress you've made this year as a team, getting to the final when many people, maybe not yourselves, but many people were quite surprised that you got there and didn't expect you to get to the final. You have to be very happy with your progress this year.
Oh yeah, I mean, we talked to the lads there afterwards. It's been a long journey for us, 5-6 years together. The last 2 to 3 years, real momentum as we rebuilt. As we said to them there, they've been in 2 finals in 2 years. We learnt a lot from last year's, and I said to them, over the next couple of weeks, maybe they get together and re-galvanise and look at how they can spring forward together. Because there's no doubt with that group, plus maybe this year's minor team who made the final today as well, that there's a huge momentum in the club, and I'd love to see over the next 2 to 3 years that as a group they go on and win a championship.